it's Dominique, the Nourishing Mystic, and I wanted to share with you today one of my favorite books that I'm going to be reading throughout this year. It is the Wild Wisdom Companion by Maia Toll. And I say reading throughout the year because this is the kind of book where you don't just sit and read it and put it on your shelf and be done with it. This book is specifically to read it throughout the year as the seasons change. Because within the book, it is broken down by the seasons. So every season has a beginning. I'll say, for example, you can look at late winter, which is the season I'm currently in. So it always has a beginning. I love this passage for late winter. Everything that slows us down and forces patience, everything that sets us back into the slow circles of nature is a help. May Sarton. And so she discusses the element of the season, and she discusses like a seasonal practices that you can do. Practices and exercises, like the energy center here of the hands. She also has journal contemplations to do. I love that she talks about the plant medicine of the season, the animal medicine of the season, as well as going through the crystal medicine of the season. So if you have any of her previous work, like her herbiary or her crystallary, I believe she also has one on animals. This is like the combination of those three, because every section has an herb, an animal, and a crystal related to that season. And then she also has seasonal symbols. And we can see that the art for this book is absolutely gorgeous. So there's a few seasonal symbols, and each of these symbols corresponds to the oracle cards that she has within this deck as well. And I will also be doing a flip through of the cards themselves, so you can see all of the individual art, but they're also here in the pages. I also like that she also includes these folders within the book. So as you're doing your written exercises for the season, you can save it in the folder, which is super handy. And then you can continue to do it year after year and see how your writing changes, how you grow, how you develop, and how you've healed over the years and through the seasons, which is, again, brilliant. I don't think enough books make use of that. So big props for this book to be that companion and to have that for us through the seasons. And now I'm just flipping through so you can see again, it's really just a gorgeous, wonderfully produced book. Certainly a book I would recommend to any witch or herbalist or just anyone who really wants to get aligned with the seasons and wants to live seasonally. This is definitely a major spiritual practice in my life, is to become more and more aligned with the seasons and delve deeper into the symbolism behind each of the seasons and to see how the seasons are affecting my life. And acknowledging the cycle that is in the season. So I really enjoy that for her guidance of each season. You know, she talks about the rest and the energy and the elements that each season is related to, which is great. So for this time of late winter, the element is earth moving into air. So I love that she includes that detail of the transitions between the elements and how that affects us as well. That's a detail I don't often see included in some books. So I really enjoyed that. And I enjoy her writing. It's beautifully written. It's definitely something that if you're looking to live seasonally, you can read each section at the season, reflect on the energy that she presents, and then journal to see how it manifests in your life. And like I said, she gives you a lot of journal prompts to work through, which is really helpful. You can pick this up at any time. It doesn't have to be at the start of the book, and just go with it throughout the year. And if you're somebody who maybe is looking for more guidance on creating your own spiritual practice, this book is great because, again, she includes the seasonal exercises for you to do as well. So in this case, late autumn was to anoint your third eye. She's got practices on energy work through your hands and cleansing your hands. There's in connecting with stillness, different meditation examples. You're clearing your root energy center and doing a root energy center contemplation. So I figure as you're reading this book through the year, if you really make the time for yourself to do the practices that she recommends, you'll find yourself building your own spiritual practice and your own magical practice, and even going through all of the energy centers like the throat, and clearing the throat chakra, exploring air, working with that element. It's like this is very similar to a year and a day kind of practice for magic. If anyone's familiar with that, when you get initiated to certain spiritual paths, they'll make you go through a year and a day. And this is similar to that, in that we're going through all of the elements, we're going through all of the energy centers of the body. We're connecting with ourselves through journaling and learning about ourselves and doing self-discovery. We're also working with animal medicine, crystal medicine, and we're working with plant medicine. So to me, that really covers all of the bases. If you do all of the exercises in this book for a whole year, that is a very transformative, magical practice right there, going from the beginning through to harvesting. So taking that whole cycle, and I'm sure after doing all of these practices, you will find yourself transformed on a deep level. And I also wanted to mention the great instructions that she also gives at the beginning of the book, which are, again, extremely helpful for anyone who is looking to create a new spiritual practice. Like maybe you're new to your path, you don't really know where you fit or what to call yourself, you haven't committed to any certain path. This book is probably a good starting place to build that up. So she recommends having a sense of the sacred. She talks about your toolkit, and then she gives several, at the beginning, introductory practices. So I love the practice of inviting your fear to tea, making your own symbol dictionary, doing some journeying, and she gives some advice on how to start journeying. Also keeping an altar, which is incredibly useful for seasonal practice as well. And being able to let go of what you don't need through stream of consciousness writing. And of course, practicing with the oracle cards themselves, which is again a nice introduction to using oracle cards if you haven't used any beforehand. So yeah, I would say overall this book is excellent, whether you have been doing a magical practice or a nature-based practice for many years. You'll find that this book has a lot of new ideas to deepen your practice and to really structure it and to help be a guide, again, a companion, a friend with you throughout the year. Or if you're somebody who's brand new, just curious about building a spiritual practice or just curious about connecting with nature on a deeper level, this is a great for new people as well, a great starting point. And yeah, I love that it came with cards. So the cards are at the very back. They came in a solid like sheet, so there was 4 cards a sheet, and you kind of just disconnect them to make the separate cards. The cards themselves, because they're just kind of like a piece of paper, they're not super thick, right? Like you would expect if you actually bought a set of cards by themselves. But I think the fact that they come with the book, and the book itself has so much knowledge and so much to offer, that it's completely worth it. So when you see these cards, just don't be surprised and expect them to be that same paper thickness quality of an Oracle deck that you might buy separately, because it had to fit in the book. And that's also why you see some of them have these little perforated edges, because that's where you split the cards off into separate cards. With that being said, the art's gorgeous. They still shuffle beautifully. The actual texture of the cards are good. They're square. They're pretty small and easy for my small hands, and I love them. I think they're definitely a bonus to the book. I have not tried to read with these cards yet, because I'm more focused on going through reading the book in the seasonal direction. But I appreciate that it comes with them, because again, they are gorgeous. And I love that she also gives some ideas, like this card spread looks pretty awesome. And yeah, I would say that they're stunning in their art, and a little showing of your energy centers. Yeah, a really good just book, covering pretty much all of the things that I'm interested in. And gorgeous. And it is hardcover. I think a good size to keep by your bed frame to read maybe in the mornings or before you go to bed at night, whenever you want to sit down and do some journaling or meditation. It's just even a gorgeous tabletop book, honestly. So yeah, that's everything I think I wanted to say about the book. And now we'll flip over to just flipping through the cards so you can see more detail of what the art is for each of these cards. And as I flip through these cards, notice the transition between early winter and late winter into early spring, early summer, late summer, early fall, and late fall. So these cards right now are organized by the seasons. So there you have it, 28 oracle cards organized by each seasonal time frame. And I'm really excited to see where this book takes me, where everything kind of corresponds, what synchronicities come with the book, what symbolism I discover for myself through reading this and doing the journaling prompts. And maybe next year I'll do an updated video to see how it went after I finished reading the entire book. But for right now, I'm really excited and highly recommend this. And I think it was, honestly, considering everything that you get, being a hardcover, and you get the oracle cards with it, and you get so much knowledge and inspiration for your life, and so many benefits from this book. I think it was also priced extremely reasonably as well. And I am so grateful to Maia for coming out with this awesome book. I'm grateful to get it, and I'm grateful to see what blessings that it brings into my life. So if you've made it this far through the video, please leave me a comment, let me know what you think, or just leave me a heart to let me know that you listened to it. I really appreciate you, and I hope you have a good rest of your day, night, or whenever you're watching this, and blessed be.